But it was at the beginning of my transition of where I am right now, 4.5 years ago. And it's, I believe it's more on the lesson, and it touched about our heart's position in transitioning. So what I've gained and learned in these last 4.5 years is we can hinder our transition. We can start to walk through the door and get stuck halfway in, halfway out if we are not properly positioned. And for me, I came out to Arizona 7 years ago, and that itself was a whole transition. Coming from the Midwest to the Southwest is completely different. And God began to do a work in me. So I transitioned from one ministry to another ministry, and that began a completely new work in me. And at the time, I was wanting more from God and wanting to be with Him more, but didn't really know how. And but yet still trying to live my life the way that I knew best. And so it came a point where I had to seriously just like let everything go. And it was through my decision to be at I don't even want to say it like that. Well, yeah. So it was through my focus of remaining abstinent. So throughout life, I've always like, okay, I'm not gonna have sex. I'm not gonna have sex, and then it happens. And then so at this point, 4.5 years ago, I was with God praying, and I was like, okay, why is it so hard for me to remain pure? Why is it so hard for me? And God asked me, He's like, well, why are you doing it? And so I
Wow.
began to really look at my heart. I checked my heart to see what was truly going on. Like, why was it so hard for me to stay focused? And what was making me not stay, because I would go months, and then a year would go by, and then I would slip up. And so I was like, well, God, what is it? And as I began to truly study, I realized my heart wasn't there. I was using God as an excuse. God was a crutch for me, not the fact that my relationship with Him was right, but that I was using Him as, oh, well, this is the right thing to do. So I was being very religious in the fact that it's like, oh, well, it's the right thing to do, so I'm going to do it. But then when the opportunity came and I didn't feel like doing it anymore, I would give in. And I can't blame anyone but myself. And I began to really study. I came across this book. It was called Closed Legs Do Get Fed. And in it, it is, yeah, but in it, she talked about the author talked about her journey being abstinent and then meeting her husband. And it made me truly look at, like, why are you abstinent? Are you abstinent just because right now you don't feel like dealing with people, or are you abstinent because you solely and wholly want to have that relationship with God? And so I had to take that look at myself, and I realized it's like, you know what? I was doing it for all the wrong reasons. I was doing it to make it seem as if I was a better person, but I really wasn't. I was using God as a crutch and saying, well, this is the right thing to do. This was my decision. Da, 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 da. But as soon as I was like, you know what? I'm done with this. I'm just going to, or I felt like I needed attention, I would go ahead and find somebody who would give me the attention that I wanted, and there it was. But it was only when I set my heart to do it, when I truly opened myself and said, okay, God, I'm going to do this for you, not for me, not to make myself look good, not to draw attention to me, but I truly and wholly want a relationship with you. I want to experience life with you. And when I did that, that began a transition in my life that just, I don't even think I could ever imagine me being where I am right now. I don't think I can say that I thought I would be in this position. To say that I am as open as I am, like, I would not tell anyone anything about my life, but to see how far God's brought me because I positioned myself. And so when you kept saying your heart, it really is about your heart, because sometimes we get stuck in the position of transition. We'll be in the same transition spot for so long because we ourselves was like, you know what? I don't want to go any further because it's uncomfortable. I don't want to go any further because it's going to cause me to have to stop doing the things that I'm always, I'm used to doing with my friends. I don't want to go any further because it's going to single me out. I don't want to go any further because now I can't. Well, everyone else is over here. I want to be over there too. I don't want to go any further because then it's something that I don't know, I'm not used to, I'm scared, and that we allow fear to hinder us. And then we get stuck. And so we're in the middle of transition, sitting there, not going anywhere, but going in circles. And so when you're talking about transition and you're talking about moving into the next, we also have to remember to keep our hearts positioned and focus on God, and not to get so caught up in what everyone else is thinking we should do and what everyone else is thinking we should say and how we should do it, because God does things the way he wants to. And there's times that he has us doing things that doesn't look right to everyone else. But guess what? It doesn't matter what it looks like to you. It matters what it looks like to God. So we have to get into that point where it does not matter what anyone else says. My heart is with God. My heart is positioned with him. So therefore, in this transition, no matter what everything else looks like, I know I'm in the right place. I know I'm moving forward.